forecast with Mid-Michigan's only live radar. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bryan Bachman.
Thanks very much for that update on the flooding situation and rainfall totals there, John. Of course, the vast majority of that coming on the front end of this system before all of the cold air came in and changed everything over to, at best, a wintry mix in parts of the area. It's been more snow for you folks north and west of the bay, but of course, primarily sleet with a combination of freezing rain farther to the south and east. And we're still not done. Let's take you over to the First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar here tonight. Live from MBS, yet another relative lull in the action coming through right now as another dry pocket of air works its way in around the region here tonight, but nonetheless still a blend of snow, sleet and freezing rain, mostly sleet and freezing rain falling across a good chunk of Genesee County from Flint and Grand Blanc, Fenton as well, all the way through Lapeer, North Branch and onward toward the Sandusky area. And like I said before, even though the radar is mostly detecting snow around, say, places like Caro, south and west toward Birch Run and into the northern thumb, stepping outside and seeing some of this for myself earlier on, what's actually happening here in a lot of cases is that the sleet pellets, they're so fine, so small, that the radar is actually thinking that a lot of them are snowflakes. There may be a few mixed in, but still quite a bit of mixing even where we're seeing these snow indicators, again, in the northern thumb toward Caro and on back toward the Tri-Cities. Bit of a break in the action, lull, things drying out for the moment toward places like Alma and Mount Pleasant, while the snow continues primarily in places around Houghton Lake, West Branch, on into Clare, and everyone can bank on at least one more surge of heavier precipitation as the low itself charges through the region over the next couple of hours. So here's the current situation over downtown Saginaw. Just about all of that white stuff you're seeing on the grassy surfaces, on the roads here in front of the Dow Event Center, and on the sidewalks, just about everything else in between. Vast majority of that is sleet. Almost none of that is snow accumulation. Temperature down to 25 degrees right now. Wind chill down to 11 when you factor in those still strong northerly winds in the city right now at about 20 miles per hour. The concern now starts to shift more away from how much ice we pick up from freezing rain and how much ice we wind up with just due to whatever moisture is left over freezing as our temperatures continue to drop overnight. Here's where the storm is right now on the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker. Low still working its way through central Indiana. It's going to run right up through southeastern Michigan during the overnight period, charging to the east of us out over Lake Huron by about daybreak or so, and then quickly leaving the region as we head on into tomorrow. But as you can see, it has at least one more push of steadier rains and eventually mixed precipitation and snow associated with it that have to roll through before we see things wind down. So we head to midnight here on the hour-by-hour forecast, still seeing the primary freezing rain and sleet mixing zone from the Tri-Cities on south and east, but now as some colder air begins to really filter in as this low approaches, more of this than not will begin to transition into snow from the Tri-Cities on north, where we're already in fact seeing quite a bit of moderate to at times heavy snow. And then take a look at this. By the time we hit 5 a.m., after everyone sees a quick changeover that is to all snow by about 5 o'clock in the morning, most of this is starting to wrap up. We're seeing just a little bit left hanging on in parts of the northern thumb, north end of the bay, even a little bit of a breakup in the cloud coverage at that time. It will still be a windy start to the day. But outside of a few isolated leftover flakes, by mid-morning tomorrow and certainly by lunchtime, snow is gone, mixed precipitation is gone, and we'll even see some sunshine try to fight its way on through the clouds into tomorrow afternoon. It is just going to be considerably colder. So one more time, this is additional ice accumulation that we're expecting for the rest of tonight and on into early tomorrow morning. Quarter of an inch to about 4/10 of an inch, anywhere from about the Sandusky area through the greater Flint area and along most of I-69. A tenth to a quarter of an inch from about Saginaw through Bad Axe back to the south and west toward, say, the Ithaca area, and then a tenth of an inch or less just to the north of there into places like Midland, Mount Pleasant, and just about everything else exclusively snow along M55. Speaking of, snow totals from this entire system, less than an inch by tomorrow morning. Areas south and east of the Tri-Cities, still looking at that 1 to 4 inch blend of snow and sleet. Tri-Cities to Mount Pleasant and Alma, 4 to 8 snow and sleet. M55 to Clare, Gladwin, and Standish, and parts of Alcona and northern Iosco counties getting into about 6 to 12 inches of primarily snow. 18's your overnight low for tonight. Mix and freezing rain changing to snow before ending by daybreak. And then your First Warn 5 7-day forecast. After a high of 23 tomorrow, a cold day ahead. We go back to the 30s and even some 40s, Blake and Kylie, as we look ahead to next week.